And you'll be seeing some elements of the new one coming out.
Thank you so much.
I'll just set it over here for now.
Yeah, that's great. Isn't that neat?
That is so cool.
Did you see the other two when you came in?
The other two, no, I didn't, but I've seen them. Well, I didn't when I came in because I was but
We display them.
I'll take this down, take me on the way.
We can take care
We
of
can
that.
take it.
Cool. Yeah, so I just wanted to take a few minutes and give you some highlights from the event. Thank you for your support, of course. And maybe talk briefly about just kind of where we're at planning for 25 and a couple other quick things that the commission may want to be privy to. So this for 2025, we sold out about 35 days sooner than we did the year prior. And the year prior, we sold out a little bit earlier than we had the year prior to that. So we're anticipating something similar happening again this year. Our marketing's been going really well. We haven't opened registration yet, but we've got everything like lined up and queued up. We partnered with Bonneville Digital, which is a KSL partner. They're a partner in the event, and it's really made a big difference, I think, on our ability to get that advertising dollars out there with the UOT grant that we get. I've got that meeting today at 3:30 actually. We're focused on growing that out of state visitation, and so far this year it seemed to prove that it did. So the current marketing brought us up a couple percent at least in what we could see as out of state visitation, and so hopefully we see that reflected in final economic impact from the event for the single day. So we're hoping to get my hopes we get somewhere around 23 to 25% outside out of state visitation for the event. And then of those, how many are renting Airbnbs and hotels and stuff is TBD, but we've got great amount. So we had just over 60. Sorry, I did write it down because I can't remember everything. 630 registrations for the marathon proper, and then 550 for the Kids K, which is free, provided by Granite Construction and a few other partners help do that. So a little over 7,000 participants. Things went, from our perspective, quite smoothly. I know you guys were in the race as well, and hopefully it went. You saw it the same.
We did a relay. It was awesome.
Awesome. I love it. Yeah, we hope to have you back for another relay this coming year too. We had a lot of great successes there. We moved our expo across the street to the Ogden Eccles Conference Center. It was a little bumpy at times. We had some great success. The vibe was really good. So we're in the middle of just negotiating right now with Cassie and that group on what that looks like for next year, whether we need more space or parking and some different things there. The pro was, I think it was downtown. It was hard to really track what kind of economic impact it had on 25th Street from having the expo downtown. Probably not a ton because a lot of the hotel visitation, they're going to eat downtown anyways. But we do feel like it brought some good vibe. The parking is, of course, as usual, the big event like that at that expo is the challenge. Even though there was ample parking, people not from Ogden get confused of where to go and how to get there and stuff. So we had that as participant concerns. So we're working through that stuff right now. Jim, thanks again for the intro to Gina at Weber School District.
Yeah, we're glad you got that together.
Partnered with them, procured 55 school buses, and we were able to donate $27,500 to the Weber School Foundation this year through the marathon, and still come under budget on our busing. So for us, it was a big win. We got to keep that money local as opposed to going out of state to Chicago or someplace for a 3-hour insurance policy for $60,000. We're able to get local, local drivers, local buses, and as well as contribute to the Weber School Foundation. So super excited with that, and we're in the midst of renewing that agreement now. So ideally, you'll see those buses back in the queue next year once again. So really fun.
Awesome.
We had almost 1,000 volunteers again. Usually that's about what it takes, somewhere between 800 and 1,000. We ended, I think, at 983 is what we tallied up. So tons of people still showing that community support and living by the motto of what Goal was founded on, which is that volunteer spirit. So we're excited to see that continue and everything there. The Visit Ogden final economic impact study shows us right just under 2.1 million to 2,085,000 is what we've clocked out. And again, it drives me nuts. I like to be able to reconcile like every piece. So I'm like, well, what about this and that? My gut tells me it potentially was more because we're the way the algorithms work. That's the number I'll present and hang my hat on. So, but I think there was other pieces that did have impact economically that are just a little more abstract and hard to quantify and say like for sure that happened. So, so talk about 25. We're anticipating selling out earlier than we did last year for this year's event, so we're excited to see that momentum come. And then we've already selected another artist who's done some artwork actually in the past for us, and he's already in the full swing of getting it done. We almost have a final production of this coming year's artwork.
Wow.
And the reason that's important is we're being the 25th year, we're going to take some of those elements, we're going to rebrand the finish line arch, we're going to include it in the registration launch, we're going to have that 25th anniversary be.
This is the 25th anniversary.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So really exciting. We're gonna hang a lot of momentum on that piece alone and try and get as much excitement around it as we can. The focus for this year's artwork, as you see, like a lot of our work we've got in the past, focuses on the geographical elements, the scenery, the kind of the course itself. And what we asked him to do is focus more on all of our community partners, the sheriff, police, volunteer spirit, all those things. So there's a runner centric piece in the middle, but there's all these other really cool components, almost like a Where's Waldo kind of scenario where you have to get a look a little bit, but it's all right there. And again, that focus was on the community spirit and the community collaboration to make the event happen. So we're excited to see that artwork come together, and color palettes and pieces of that will all get integrated into the artwork and shirts. And then again, the bigger pieces like the finish line arch will get redecorated with the 25th year special emblem. And I think our expo will also display some of that new fun stuff for the 1 year, and then we'll turn it back over to rinse and repeat, I would say rinse and repeat, but our standard branding that we have. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're working on our agreements now with the hotel accommodations as well, just to make sure we have enough rooms available and booked out for the marathon, so we can again encourage that downtown visitation. So that's all in the works and coming together. And the other thing we're going to work on to have a more formalized marketing plan for downtown restaurant visitation. I don't know if it'll be similar to the Ogden Eats plan as much as excuse me, something that as people come pick up their packet, we've got a little more formalized way for them to go and be incentivized to go visit, the Roosters, the Union Grills, the Warrens, all the downtown restaurants, and stay in Ogden as long as we can. We'd like to capture people for longer than we have in the past, which is oftentimes packet pickup, and off they go to wherever they go. So our goal is to get them to stick around and walk down the road and get something yummy to eat, and then the same thing for the next day. Encourage that. We did shift our finish line, as you saw, and we did see some improvement in that traffic flow. Historically, your friend's family, when they wanted to go and see the race, they had to go kind of all the way down and around to get on the west side, or they had to go, it kind of clogged things up. By shifting it, we were able to keep the corner of 25th and Grand open, and so we did see, like, at least visually, more traffic going up and down 25th Street from pedestrian traffic from the marathon. So that's why, again, I wish I had like a little QR code they could scan every time they spent money down there. I think there was some influx of economic spend down there that we're not tracking in this 2.1 million. So, but we're excited to continue that. I think that that will all stay the same. It worked for medical attendance. It worked well logistically for all those reasons. So we're going to keep that shift. It was forced kind of because of the courthouse parking, but then it came as kind of a blessing, I think, in the way the finish of the race worked.
Yeah.
And
I think it worked out great.
Yeah, it did work out
Yeah.
great.
so we're excited to have that continuing on. And then I guess just kind of new things that we're working on is some permitting with the Ogden Valley City as that comes together January 1. We've been working with just kind of, it's really not we're working on anything other than just waiting and seeing. And then but we'll plan to integrate that into our permit process so that we're dotting all the i's, crossing the t's, and getting in front of that as much as we can. Then just some of the, overall hurdles we're working on is definitely cost of goods are going up, especially imported products like our shirts, metals, that type of stuff's all coming up. So we're just trying to procure things as far in advance as we can and get creative where we can. A couple of our manufacturers are looking at different continents to ship things from where the tariff rate's a little bit better, but we are seeing some impact there. So we're just budgeting accordingly. And then again, as Ogden Valley City comes together, what that looks like, and as well as procuring, the Weber County Sheriff and Highway Patrol for those spaces, what's going to be needed for that permit, and as well as budgeting for that separately. So it's looking good. We're going to talk a little about the expo. We're just stoked to be able to host it in the county and bring it every year. And I know it's only a kind of day and a half, 3 days. I don't know what you call it. For us, it's all year, but for the, what the community sees is about a day and a half, 2 days worth of stuff. So it's not, doesn't have a, you know, long life on the shelf as far as the event goes, but for us, it's a big deal and comes together quick and happens with lots of magic and fun, and we're excited to be able to do it right here in the county, and we're grateful for y'all's support. Quick side note for some of the Goal Foundation engagement, we are in talks with the Utah Olympic Legacy Foundation. So
Thank
I'm
you.
on a sport and venue committee, as well as a bunch of other key partners like Davey Ratchford and Spence Eccles Jr. and a bunch of people where I went to Midway not last week, but the week before that, and attended a meeting there with pretty much all the main figureheads for that committee. And so we're talking deeply about what does volunteerism look like? What do the logistics and operations look like? Who's playing what role? And right now we're rounding ourselves up to be the volunteer coordination group, but also I'm kind of buying and hopefully pitting to get us involved a little bit more in some of the event execution side as far as, you know, tent logistics, toilet logistics, all those things that we do pretty well in-house so that we can have a little bit more control and hopefully some funding from the goal side from the Olympic Foundation, because as we staff for that, it's trying to find ways to package it so that it all works. So that's exciting and moving forward. It's 9 years away, which seems like forever, but they'll start running races about 6 years from now, and it'll take us 2 or 3 years just to line up the right volunteers and people to do it. So it's really just right on our doorstep, so, but,
That's great.
beyond that, I already produced our annual report and presented that to you guys, I think, a couple months ago, whenever it was, sometime a while ago. All the things the marathon does and your support for it, really where our hearts lie at Cole Foundation is that community engagement component where we, you know, we run our youth camps for hiking, the rock climbing we do at the front, our community, hikes that just talk to the general community, as well as our Golden Hour Senior Center hikes. And our Should Give Back program, we're looking at growing all of those things, and these larger kind of signature events help subsidize and support that. Gage, how are you?
Troy, how are you doing?
Good.
Sorry I'm
very well.
late.
No, no worries at all. Glad to see you. So yeah, just being able to continue this event and the other things that come our way really do help broaden our vision or broaden our impact of getting the whole community out and active through either volunteering, spectating, or participating in the events that we produce. So we're stoked to be part of the county and do what we do. So
We're happy that you are too. Thank you
Great.
so much. It's a great report.
cool. Well, any other questions or thoughts or directives you have for me? Otherwise, I'll let you to your day.
Well, we should probably bring up at this point that, you know, Commissioner Harvey did a great job in this last marathon.
He did indeed.
And he's geared up for a full marathon. I said, maybe you ought to just try a half to start with,
Yeah.
but knowing his desire,
I like it.
save him a blue ribbon.
No, this is a drug-free workplace, Commissioner. You must be on something. I do have something. First off, Commissioner Frohr, he's brought us a really cool,
Oh, yeah, we get those every now and again. That's nice.
that's nice.
Wow.
Go in our collection, Christie, out front, out by your
Yeah.
office. Also, though, I might suggest, and I'm glad you went up to Midway and met with the Olympic people.
Mhm.
But it's not an official test event, but I'm sure that the local Olympic committee will use it as such.
Perfect.
But the men's curling championship, if I'd really appreciate it if, and it might be really helpful.
Yeah.
If you guys were working with Todd Ferrario and
Mhm.
with Jay up there.
We are, yeah, actually. So we, of the many things we've been doing, that's definitely one. We met with that group for a pre-site inspection 2 weeks ago. And then I have a meeting on Thursday as well with their main volunteer coordinator there to kind of start slice and dice all those parts and pieces. So we'll be heavily integrated in that piece as well, because hopefully we can get that moved up here from have the Olympics be hosted here and show that we can do it and get the capacity that they're looking for, et cetera. So we're right on the front lines of that. And
Perfect. And then also, what's your participation, if any, with the Corn Ferry this weekend?
Only a little bit, but not as much as I was hoping to be able to do. We love the event. It's amazing. So our, just some, marketing to help procure volunteers, and whatnot with that is about as far as we ended up getting. I wanted to go deeper, was a little bit challenging on our side staff wise with, availability and some conflicts with schedules and calendars and things. But that should be an amazing event as well. And
It will be, and then hopefully it'll be something that'll keep coming back.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed, yeah, that'll be a big impact locally as well, and lots of dollars and lots of my neighbor's son works on the golf course up there. and he's just like head over heels.
Yeah,
He's like, I
he's
can't wait.
awesome.
This can be cool. So
Cool.
yeah, so I do hope one thing that you know, they have our faults. I think that the Goal Foundation, one thing I'm working on is how to better support some of those third-party events that we used to host or help with, like Xterra, the Corn Ferry, those types of things. Like, how do we really integrate that and keep it yeah, the communication be clear that what it is and what our intentions are to help with that. And we currently don't have what I see as a really great system kind of built in for that right now. What we used to have had sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say broke apart, but it's not like integrated into our current operating system. And so we're looking to rebuild that and working on pieces and parts to best communicate to our database and engage at that high level so that we can really be a valued partner in those events again, like we used to be. And we will be, it's just a matter of getting it done well, so, yep. Should be good,
That's great.
so. So yeah, that's what we have. Our next big event is the Nut, the Northern Utah Trail Fest, so if you're around first weekend of October, I'd love to see you up there. It's a ton of fun. It's a, you know, big festival with music and fun and games, as well as a bike race and a running race all at the same time, so.
Right there, our North Fork Park.
Yeah. Yeah,
Great.
Brad have been phenomenal to work with, and we've gotten a new small piece of trail this year to do a new track for the mountain bike track at least. So
Good.
the Moose Tracks line that came up has one little section, and we're gonna finish that off, and it'll make for a new loop as well, which will keep, I think, the mountain bikers entertained year to year. We'll probably change it every couple of years. We'll go back to the old route and go to this one so that we can have some variety to offer over time. So, yeah,
Great.
so it should be really good.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right.
On your way out, can we get a photo with that?
Sure,
Can we
yeah,
take one?
that'd be great. Do you have a place in particular, in front here?
You wanna go out?
It's quite a upholstery there.
Yeah, it's nice, huh?
That's really nice. Yeah, you guys do a great job with that. Come on, Commissioner.
I'm coming.
We can't-
I stepping.
We can't start this show without you.
Yes, you
Yeah,
can.
stuff real quick and then about the tables.
Hey, look.
Right here.
Yeah, you need her.
Well, I think. It's the original form. Take care of that, Troy, you got there, yeah.
Yeah, well, they feel like they're.
No, we'll take care of it.
Hey, I've invited you to the Weaver Basin meeting Thursday,
Oh, okay, what time is it at?
9 o'clock.
Okay.
Brandon's gonna be there,
That nice.
and I said, we gotta have somebody because
I'll be there.
he's already said that the county's not clarified, they're good with it. Said, no. I don't think so.
We said that, go out, and we sent it to Weaver Basin.
You might wanna get Laura in there too.
Well,
Yeah.
Commissioners, we kind of started that as they were walking in, so we need to go back to agenda item 1, which is discussion and or action. For approval of the minutes for commission work session held on July 21st, 2025.
Motion to approve.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we're back to item 3, a closed session to discuss the purchase, lease, or exchange of real property.
I'll make a motion that we go into closed session to discuss the purchase, lease, or exchange of real property.
second.
In favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Where?
If you wanna mute and turn off this. No, that's the other one. Just hit the mute and the turn off camera.
Hey, have fun out there.
Thanks, Gage.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to leave the closed session.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Yeah, I mean, that's. Okay, sorry for the delay. I had an extracurricular conversation. Item 4, review changes to disciplinary policy and wellness policy. Emily Wild.
All right, thank you, commissioners. This should actually be really quick. I don't know if you want to each view a copy of these policies. Just some minor changes to these HR policies.
These all the same?
Yeah, they're all, one's discipline and one's the wellness.
Wait a second. Oh, here,
I've got
give
discipline.
me that,
Oh, this is discipline.
Yes, ma'am.
please,
No
thank you.
problem.
I've got discipline. I don't have
Glad
that
to
to
help.
help. There we go.
You need, no, you're fine. I don't take.
Okay.
Okay, so to start with the discipline process or policy, if you look on page 3 here, it's basically adding in what we've talked about, a merit employee. If a merit employee is terminated and elects to appeal the decision, the position shall not be permanently filled until the appeal process is.
Wow, do
over.
I like that?
Like that.
So.
Thanks for correcting
Boy,
that.
I like that.
Corrected. Now, we did put in here that the temporary staffing measures, so they could maybe like figure out some
Yeah.
temporary staffing. Because that appeal process can be,
Sure.
3-6 months, but they cannot permanently fill that position until the appeal.
We make this
is
retroactive.
final.
I have a question.
Good
though.
question.
What if we have an elected official, if I may continue,
Please.
what if we have an elected official that chooses not to abide by our policy?
That's a good question.
How do we put teeth in something or a policy so that it
Well,
keeps the county out of
I
position of
respond.
liability? Yeah,
I don't know if I don't know if elected officials would be applying this. I would think it would be, people below them who would be applying this.
Well,
And if a non-elected official violated a policy, there would be a reprimand for that, wouldn't there?
well, there should be. I mean, an elected official should still follow the county policy, but there's nobody above them to
Hold responsible.
hold them
My
responsible.
point is,
They
they would
choose
not
to
be
not do
implementing
it.
this personally.
Not for themselves, but for like.
It would be someone below them who would be implementing them.
Well, like. I mean, it would, I don't know if I quite understand what you're saying, but like, if we take the clerk auditor, for example, it wouldn't be him because he's not a merit employee. But it would be anybody below him that's a merit employee, but that he would be the one. That would be working with myself and the attorneys to make sure that. They're following this policy for the merit employee. If that-
But I guess, okay, let me try to describe this. If the clerk auditor wanted to terminate someone,
Mhm.
that person would not do it themselves. It would be a director who's under them, it would be, right?
It could be an elected official, if they don't have, like, if they don't have somebody that is like a division director or
Okay.
something, it could be them. So we do have elected officials that they do the performance evaluations for, our team members, so it could be
Okay.
an elected official who.
Then I guess the answer to that question is, or the response to that question is, I hope they adhere to it. I hope all the elected officials do.
Yeah.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can hope. Well,
Yeah,
explain
but
it
if
to
they
them,
don't,
explain it to them, but we don't have any recourse if they take that action. Is what you're saying.
I mean,
You hire somebody, I mean, HR is the one that processes.
That is true.
individuals and-
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So I don't think the elected official would be the one that's onboarding a
That's true.
position, and so.
That
is
would be the
is
stop.
that where the stop would?
Yeah,
would be the
that's,
stop.
that's where we would
Yeah.
stop it, is we wouldn't allow somebody to fill that position because it
Yeah.
has to come
Okay.
through my office.
So
End of
there's
the
coverage.
day, even if it's elected official, you have to do the paperwork for that.
Yes,
And all of a sudden it hits that and you go, hey, wait, this is not, you can do a temporary, but you can't do a permanent.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just kind of like it stops if they don't have the budget, or if there's like some change into a position.
Yeah.
That stops at our office and then with the clerk auditor's office.
but if they just refuse to follow the policy,
A person wouldn't be hired.
you're talking about this, I appreciate what you're saying. You're talking about this policy, I'm taking a more broad approach. If we have these policies in place and another elected official doesn't follow them, there's really no teeth we can do. There's nothing we can do.
For any policy.
Not for the elected official themselves. I don't know of any. I mean, we would have to at that point get the attorneys involved and ask them.
Yeah, but let's make sure we're clear. You still have to do the paperwork before they're an official
Yeah, for
employee.
somebody
So-
below the elected official.
Well,
Yeah,
But let's say the elected official handpicks somebody, I don't know why they would, but let's say they do. and then they go out and hire some, without going through them. You just, that person comes to you as a new employee, you say, hey, wait, stop. We can't
That's
hire
stop.
them
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah,
until this is done.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I
yes,
mean,
so it.
the elected official may come back and start yelling at you and us. We're not doing that, but we'll say, look at paragraph 6, line 37, here's what it says,
Yeah,
right? Am
yeah,
I,
no, you're right, yeah,
so I understand where Commissioner Harvey's going through, and I have some of the same concerns, but I trust Emily.
I sure do. And I wanna support her. That's what she does, so. Absolutely. I wanna support your team.
and
If we have the situation, we've gotta come up, I think for me, I need to. Be able to be prepared with a process. That we have to everyone has to, follow.
well, I mean, every department, whether it's governed by a department head that it reports to a board or an elected official, all of the employees are considered Weber County employees. And so they all
Yeah.
should be
Mhm.
following the
Yeah.
Weber County
That's how I see
HR
it.
policies. When it comes to anything in those policies, whether it's hiring or discipline or.
Yeah, it's not let's be clear, it's not the elected official's employee. It's Weber County's
Weber
employee.
County, so,
So-
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
well, I appreciate the changes. That's exactly
Yeah.
what we needed after the last incident,
Yeah.
so.
yeah, so. And then the next policy, the wellness policy, so, we actually made this change with the budget, we didn't change the actual policy. But the gym reimbursement can be any commercial gym or fitness center, it's not just EOS or VASA.
We
So we're
talked about
just
that. Yeah.
removing that from the wellness policy. And that's the only change to that one,
That's fair.
Okay,
so. And that's it. Any other?
I don't have any questions.
Well,
None for me. Thank you very much for doing that as well.
Thank
All
you.
right, you will see this go through probably next week then on the commission agenda.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good. Don't go anywhere, right? You're
thank you.
still
I
here.
think so.
Item 5, discussion regarding quarterly budget changes. Stephanie, you do this. For each of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we have noticed 2 public hearings tomorrow that are on the commission agenda. The first one is required to make amendments to the budget, which we do pretty much on a quarterly basis. Those budget changes are listed in front of you. You have seen all of these except for one of the health department grant changes, which I have right here, that they just recently gave to me. So all of these you've approved up to this point in this quarter. This is just the process that we use to then put them out on the public hearing to officially make the change to the budget. The first one, I should remodel, that's some state funding that we received for that, so you should be aware of those. The next 3, so the health department moves grants around expenditures, employees, staffing, that kind of thing. When they receive new money or they transfer money from one grant to another. So those next 3 are health department grants. And then we recognize that in the original budget, the jail had 3 grants that they had not included the revenue or the expenditures for. So we were just adding both of those items to those grants. Those were grants that were multi-year grants. And so they just rolled them over, but then they didn't include them in the budget. So that's what
Stephanie?
that's for.
The Rise one is
Mhm.
discontinued now, right?
I think they got another extension on it, if I remember right.
I think it's gone.
It's gone. Okay, maybe it just ended.
Like it ended early is
partly
the
through
impression I got.
This year, okay, I'll check.
But
on
this,
that one.
but the number you have is retro.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine then. We'll get to the bottom of that.
The next one, I've included, some, $2 million figure for the sheriff's compensation adjustments, that we were planning on making, for the mid-year, as we had talked about. And I included that in this budget request. Have not submitted that yet, but it is on this sheet. I'm guessing we still want to leave that on there at this point. I mean, that's the money that we had talked about originally to make those mid-year changes for the sheriff's office sworn staff. So that figure is on there. That's for the wages and benefits for that mid-year adjustment. So we can go back and talk about that in a minute if you'd like. We did add another transfer station employee and vehicle as that second line. And then we just had some other expenditures down below that you probably have already seen. I can answer any questions on those.
So do we know that's what the sheriff's compensation will be, the 2 million? I mean, did we
Well, let me
get
give you
an
an
agreement
update.
from him?
Let me give you an update.
Yeah,
We met this morning, Stephanie and Emily and I with the sheriff and his staff. And, Stephanie worked on the weekend on trying to find a proposal. We saw some issues with what we wanted to implement. I updated the two of you on that.
mhm.
There were some issues, with more tenured employees.
Oh,
So-
that was that 1%
So Emily and Stephanie worked on what I'm calling option 2B. That gives a little more adjustment for those tenured employees. We came to present that to the sheriff today. He presented first with an option that is 50% higher than what our budget is. So
Hmm.
this is my recommendation, commissioners.
Hmm.
Our plan and Baker Tilly's implementation recommendation was for 2 million. I think we should hold the public hearing on that amount. And I'm comfortable approving that and finding a way to rectify the issues within our budget.
What's the? What's the difference?
$1 million.
$1 million? Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm still trying to,
So,
Sure.
so
does this include the 1% for the tenured or not?
So Baker Tilly came up with a couple of different options for us to look at. One of the options for just the sheriff's office sworn staff was a 2% across the board. And that came at a cost of about $1.5 million total.
Right.
Option 2.
That's option 2.
Which, yeah,
Correct. Option 3 for sworn staff was going to cost around 1.9 million. And that left out about 60-ish employees that didn't get any type of an increase at all. The point that they noticed that at the sheriff's office was that created some compression right at the beginning, because now all of our 0 to 5 year employees were going to be making the same amount of money.
Just at the minimum.
And so
Yeah.
we talked about, Emily and Commissioner Bolus and I talked about maybe a hybrid. The 2% for everybody, and then those individuals that fell under that 5 year mark or 10-year mark, depending on which way you look at it. If we were to incorporate kind of a mesh between the two different options. And that was going to be about $2 million to do that. And so that's the proposal that we gave to the sheriff this morning. And they gave a counter proposal that was not any of the proposals that were given by Baker Tilly. But they used some of the data from Baker Tilly to come up with their own version of what they interpreted that to mean. And that was going to cost about $3 million.
So, little more clarification,
interesting.
little more clarification on that. The sheriff did bring something up today, and he said in talking to other agencies, anytime some kind of an outside study is done, it's best to go with the recommendations. I feel the same way. Baker Tilly gave us 3 options as their recommendations. Option 1 is off the table for a lot of reasons. You guys heard it in a meeting that I missed.
option one is not good for the whole county.
I agree with
So
that.
we were looking at options 2 and 3. We got 3 recommendations from them. And I think we should implement one of those recommendations. However, I am willing to look at the hybrid, which costs us, I guess, roughly
About
100,000 more.
Little under 100,000.
Little under 100,000 more. It still keeps us within the 2 million. And it's a combination of the 2 best recommendations.
So the hybrid is basically the 1% for the remaining, or is it 2%?
The hybrid is still the 2%, but it's taking the 0 to 5 years and doing a 2% increase per year for the first
Okay.
5 years.
That's 100,000?
It's just under 100,000.
Yeah, so that a 0 or 1 year deputy and a 5-year deputy don't make quite the same.
It's 2% per year.
2% per year, caps it at 5 years versus the Baker Tilly option 3 capped it at 10 years.
Got
So
it.
we're just reducing the cap to
To
5
fit the
years.
budget, basically.
So it's
fit the
kind of
budget.
option 3, but from 10 to 5 years,
But
but
everybody,
only for that 0 to 5.
but everybody would still at
Still
least
get
get
2%.
2%, so it would still be the greater of.
Yeah, got it.
Up to
Okay.
2%.
I think
Okay.
the sheriff's proposal was essentially 4% per year.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, we spent a lot of money on the Baker Tilly study. They gave us recommendations. I would like to stick to one of them. I think that's the prudent thing to do.
Second,
I'm good with that. So
So
the 2 million,
that being said,
okay?
I would like to still, keep this on the agenda. I would like to put it out there for the public hearing. And then work with the sheriff and his staff on how we spend that money. Because I do want their input because they know where the biggest needs are. We can see the biggest needs on a spreadsheet, but they know the biggest needs as far as their personnel. And, what levels they wanna target for increases and how that's most gonna benefit that office. So
Okay,
I'm fully open to hearing those explanations, but this is our budget.
yeah, I would agree with you. Let's hear their side of the story. But if it deals with 4%, I don't think, at least in my opinion, it shouldn't be a long conversation. Cause that kind of sets us down the road when we come down to budget session. 4% for the sheriff, why don't we all get 4 plus, I just think that sets us up. 2%, I think, makes sense.
And it's 4%.
I'm for going with the Baker Tilly recommendation because the math is behind it, the study's behind it. I want to be able to just continue with the whole thing. We've talked about this for months and months and months. Let's use the data and let's use the recommendation that this contractor has provided us. That's where I am.
Okay, then we'll leave it on the agenda and
Okay.
hold a public hearing.
The second public hearing has to do with the wages for county officers, compensation increases. That is also statutorily required, that anytime we have an increase in the wages for county executives, we need to have a public hearing on that. That second sheet are those positions that were affected. And those have to do with the vehicle use policy that we had to implement. So I don't know how you want me to approach that in the public hearing. If we just lay it out and say these are also additional compensation increases and leave it at that? Or do you want me to bring up that it's due to vehicle use?
I'm okay bringing up that it's due to vehicle use. I mean, the vehicle, I know, Sean, you're welcome to chime in here. The vehicle, use was part of the job offer, to my understanding.
Yes.
And there are positions that we've reviewed and feel like those are the individuals who need vehicles. And it benefits the county for them to have a take-home vehicle.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. the fact that, we're making a correction, I think that's beside the point. We're making the correction.
Okay.
I mean, we need to make the correction. I just don't want it to appear that they're getting additional salaries, especially when we're in the middle of implementing the pay study. Um, because they aren't getting additional salaries, right? It's just going on their W-2, isn't that the bottom line?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think.
This covers their tax.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's all it
Yep.
is.
I think I would prefer if it was presented that way versus
Oh,
just
yeah.
a salary increase, because
Yeah.
we told everybody else,
We're waiting.
Yeah.
we're waiting for the
Mhm.
compensation study, so if it comes across as they're just
A
getting
salary.
a salary
Yeah.
increase, then we're gonna
Okay.
have a lot of people asking, well, why didn't
Mhm.
they have to wait?
Mhm.
This
And,
isn't a sal, this is just.
and
the
it,
net.
and it's different from the
Yeah.
next section, which is a salary increase. So,
Right, the
they need
three
to be
chief deputies on the
differentiated.
bottom
yes,
would be part of the 2% Baker Tilly compensation study increase. The department directors and division directors on the top are related to,
Vehicle
vehicle
usage.
benefit use.
yeah, I think we need to,
Then that needs to be, in my mind, Madam Chair, that needs to be two separate issues on the agenda. One session that says, this is what this is for. Oh, and then this is what this is for.
well, it's one
It's
agenda
public
item,
hearing. It's
but
one public
Yeah, but I
hearing.
mean, two different line items or presentations.
two different presentations.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those are the two public hearing items that we'll have tomorrow, and then I actually have the resolution that we're proposing is just going to be combined into one, because it's just amending the budget for two different things.
Okay. Do you have anything to add about that, Sean?
No, I just appreciate your support on that. It means a lot to the employees, so thank you.
Do you have any other questions that I can answer on the budget changes?
I don't think so.
No, I like it.
You might get some tomorrow. There might be people in attendance.
Okay.
If they've heard that it's about a pay study. Okay, item 6 on our agenda, commissioners,
Motion to adjourn.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.